Hey, hi, hello. So this video is very impromptu, which is why I just look exhausted and I just look like a mum who went to bed with her hair wet, and that's what this is. This video comes as a product from some conversations that I've been having on TikTok with a lot of parents. Parents of children who were born within the last 18-20 months, like my daughter, who were not able to socialise normally as children would. We can't go to toddler groups, we can't go to the soft play centre, we can't go to the park at the moment, there's nothing. Our family members can't always come round. Some people are alone with no bubble and just a child. And that's scary because we know that as social creatures, our early years are so important. And that's where we learn a lot of things to communicate. That's how we learn to communicate. And the scary thing is we've got no help. A lot of first-time mums are like, what do I do with this child? How do I teach them how to speak when it's just me? And all I'm here to do is give you a few tips that have worked with my son. So, a quick introduction, my son is 3, he's actually 4 on Tuesday. He is called Zach, was non-verbal, and he's amazing. He's a gorgeous prince, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that he was non-verbal up until just a few months ago. But because of the strategies that have been used throughout the years with my son, through speech therapy and through research and through hard work and perseverance, we've got into a place now where his development has allowed him to talk. He's speaking a bit, he's putting 2 words together, he's learning his colours, he knows his alphabet. It's amazing. And I am not saying any of the strategies that I suggest will work with your child, but there's no harm in trying. Quick, heavy disclaimer. I am a professional nothing. I ended my qualifications at high school. I'm not here to suggest that I know anything. All I know is that what I tried with my son worked, so what's the harm? The first thing that I want to talk about is communication as a whole rather than focusing on speech. I'm hearing a lot from parents that are 10, 12, 20-month-old, their children are that age, and they're concerned that they're not speaking. And sometimes that's totally fine. That's just how some children develop, slightly late talkers. That's fine. It's the communication that's really important. Are they looking at you? Are they pointing? Are they getting hold of you and taking you places? That's all communication, and that's amazing. What I think needs to be focused on is communication as a whole. Don't get bogged down with speech. Don't think my kid can't talk, because communication's a funny word that we don't ever think about, and it means a lot. Non-verbal communication is so important, and children often learn that first, which is why speech comes second. Not a profesh, just a mum. If we make sure that we're focusing on communication, then you may feel better about your child's place in their development. You may realise that, oh, my child is communicating with me and that's fine. Or you may realise my child isn't communicating with me and maybe some of the strategies that I suggest might help. So, one of the first and most important things that I did that I would say really did help with my son was give options all the time. Do you want to watch Baby Shark or do you want to watch monkeys jumping on the bed? And wait for an answer. If that answer is just a look, obviously I'm not like holding them, but he'll point. If it's just a look, he looks at the Baby Shark video, that's fine. If he grabs a Baby Shark teddy, that's fine. He's telling me what he wants. It's communicating. Brilliant. Offer an apple and an orange. Do you want an apple or do you want an orange? And wait for a response. I will stand there for 10 minutes waiting for a response because I'm pay. And I'm like, we're doing this, pal, whether you like it or not. And I'll just wait. Even if it's just a touch, if he touches the orange, he has chosen and he has communicated that to you. He has told you, I want the orange. He hasn't used his words, but he's still told you. And that's what I mean about communication. It's different to speech. I have props. Another way that you can sort of encourage speech or encourage communication with your child, depending on their age, is by limiting what you give them for snacks. And I don't mean like no chocolate, because that is not a rule in my house. For instance, if you'd usually give your child a box of raisins, which is like a normal thing to do, instead of doing that, open the raisins when they ask for raisins, if they choose. So what I would normally do is then say, would you like raisins or would you like a banana? If they choose raisins, I would put like just a couple, like a really meager amount into a container like that, and I'd give it them and look at it and they're like, what? Do not give in. Do not give in. I would then wait until he's finished these raisins, which he knows there's more because he usually gets more. I'll wait till he finishes them. Either he won't ask for any more and he didn't need any more, or he'll come up to me and either touch the box or he'll bring me the container that had the raisins in that I gave him. And that is all communication. He may not be saying, Mummy, can I have some more raisins? But he means it. He means, Mummy, you only gave me 6 raisins. You usually give me like 30. Give me some more. And then just keep doing that. Give him 6 more raisins and make him come back. It's annoying. And I'll be the first to admit that. It's annoying as hell. But it worked for my son. Give him half a chocolate bar and wait for him to come back and get the other half. That's the sort of thing that might help. I also did it with sort of tea time. Like, you can have 4 chips and a fish finger, my friend, and 8 peas. And you can have some more when you come and ask for some more. Because either they're gonna come and ask for more or they weren't hungry. So, like, win-win. Do it with toys. So he's got a bag of Lego. He's got 2. I don't know where the other one is, but it's somewhere. He's got a bag of Lego, and one is Lego, so he'll communicate that to me by bringing me the bag that he knows the Lego is in. So that's communication. Then I'll give him like 3 pieces of Lego, and I'll be like, enjoy, you build a tower, my friend. And when he's built his 3-piece tower, he'll come to me like, Mum, there's like 80 pieces in there. And then I give him a couple more, you know? All of that is communication, and that is so important because there's a very big difference between a child that can't communicate and a child that can't speak. And they're the completely different issues, obviously, that you can tackle when COVID's gone, either by having rectified the situation and the child can communicate just fine and they're just developing in their way, or the child isn't developing in the correct way and you've tried to induce communication, you've tried to influence them and it's not working, and that's when you can seek help. I'm not for 1 second saying don't seek help. You seek help when you see fit. I don't know your kid. But I just know that these things worked with my child, but we were already in the system at this point. We were already going through processes with speech therapy. So that's where I learned these things. It was speech therapy and it was research. Oh, and this is not an exhaustive list, by the way. There's thousands of strategies. I'll link some resources below. These are just the ones that I found to be the most useful with my son. Do you feel like I've conveyed that enough? As well as that, be really annoying. Stop a game halfway through and make them come and ask for the rest of the game. I will go as far as to do row, row, row your boat. Stop it at the stream and wait for him to sort of rock back and forward, meaning row your boat. Does that make sense? There's probably a better song I could have thought of to use with that. So, for instance, a song with actions, Wheels on the Bus. You will know Wheels on the Bus. If you don't, you should. It's a banger. But Wheels on the Bus, for instance, is a song that needs motions, okay? And if your child's non-verbal, obviously they're not going to be singing the song. But you can put your own actions in all songs. So it's, if your baby likes mugging on the bed, jump on your damn bed. If your kid really likes Twinkle Twinkle, get a star, like a little star toy, or cut one out of paper and use that as a prop. If you have props for things, it's easier for them to try and communicate it to you. So if they can go and get the star that you use for Twinkle Twinkle, they can bring it you and say, like, I want Twinkle Twinkle. Then sing a little bit of the song, Twinkle Twinkle Little, and then stop. And then wait for them to look at you, because if they're playing or whatever and then they look at you as if to say, Mummy, what are you doing, the song isn't over, that's communication and that's amazing. Act stupid. So he'll be obviously lining, so because he's autistic, he's got repetitive play where he likes to line things up. Say for instance, I walk into his bedroom, he's sat lining up crayons. I'll then go and put like a toy dolphin in the crayon line. That's gonna piss him off and he's gonna move it, which is him communicating to me, no, Mummy, you idiot, this is obviously a line of crayons. Why would a dolphin need to be here? Think of a time when you know exactly what your child wants. You look at them, you know exactly what they want. They're doing something that would make you think that. Say they're taking their clothes off because they want a bath. Or say they're taking their clothes off as an indication to you that they want a bath. Play dumb. Oh, is it time to go outside and play with your bike? They're going to be like, no, I want a bath. But obviously they have to find a way to communicate that to you. So you take them to different areas of the house until you find what they want. You know already in your head, because intuition, that they want a bath. You look at them and you're like, oh, kid wants a bath. You take them to different rooms of the house and say, oh, do you want to go in the garden and play with your bike? And they'll either shake their head no, which is communication. They'll look at you, which is like, you're an idiot. That's communication, communicating that you're an idiot. Or they'll grab your hand, take you to a different room or the correct room. That's communication. And if they're not doing it, that's fine too. You take them to the different rooms, you drag them around different rooms. You know full well that kid just wants a bath. No, it's not going to be that easy, friend. Drag them to different rooms. Don't drag, like, respectfully move them to different rooms. Take them into the kitchen and they're like, no, I don't want food. And just a look is enough to communicate to you, no, I don't want that. And that's enough, even if you know exactly what they want. And it's so much easier to just pick them up, put the kid in the bath. I know that, believe me, this is annoying. But these are the ways that my son sort of learned to speak. I also do this really annoying thing where and I've implemented it into my whole life, and I apologise to everyone I know because of it, but I narrate everything I do now. And I started doing that in a way so my son was hearing things where it's just me and his sister, and his sister's younger, so if I was to only speak when spoken to, I would never talk in this house. So it was super important to me that he hears speech all the time, regardless of where he is. So when we're at home alone, I'll stand up and I'll go, right, I'm gonna go to the loo, and then I'm gonna go make a brew, and then I'm gonna vac. And nobody's listening, nobody cares what I'm doing, but I'm saying things all the time. And then after those 3 things are done, I'll name another 3 actions. Now I'm gonna clean upstairs, then we're gonna go to Nana's house, and then we're gonna come home. Constant narration, I'm sure very irritating to other people. I know that it's helping him because he looks at me and in a knowing way, which you'll understand if you have a child or know any other humans. When someone looks at you and they know what you mean and you can see that, that's what happens. That's communication. Start to have very strict routines. For instance, when you're leaving the house, keep their shoes in the same place all the time so they know where their shoes are. Because then if you're sat on the sofa and you say, right, we're going to go to Nan's house, what you want to happen is for then your child to go and get their shoes, because that shows you that they understand what you've just said. Does that make sense? Do that with everything. Have it so that, which obviously the first 5, 10, 15, 40, 100 times, you're going to get the kid, you're going to get your child and you're going to take them to their shoes and say, this is where your shoes are before, and we put our shoes on before we go out, and then we put our coat on or whatever. And eventually they will go and get their shoes. And that's communicating to you that they know what they're doing. And that's important. As well as that, you're saying shoes all the time. And this also helps kids to feel more secure in knowing what they're doing, when, and that can be helpful as well. There's loads of things. I don't want to like overload people, but after seeing how many people were having the same issue, I thought I'd try and help a bit. As well as those things, the last one that I'd say was really helpful for him, because you don't want to try too many strategies, because then the kid's going to go from 0 to 100 and they're going to not know what's going on. And these strategies take time as well. These aren't overnight processes. These are things that took probably 2 years. It probably took 2 to 2.5 years of hard work and these strategies to come to fruition. He's only just started speaking. Incredibly though, he's a little genius. We've been doing these things for friggin' way before COVID, and now it's been a year already. So we've been doing this for a long time. I just wanted to make that clear. Don't think that like if I give my kids 6 raisins today, they're gonna wake up tomorrow and tell me that they won the road. No, maybe. I don't know. The last thing that I would say was particularly helpful was Zach, starting from when he was about 3. So he was a little bit older than what we were talking about earlier, but it still might help, I don't know. We had a board, it was the size of a corkboard and it was on the wall, and put Velcro on it. And then on the computer, I made a couple of different pictures for him. So one would have a banana on it and then say banana underneath it. The next would say orange, orange underneath it, and so on. I'd do it for stuff like food, Nan's, Daddy's, park, nursery would all be on there. Then he'd have like things like car, house, and it'd have the correct pictures on. So I went and took a picture of my car, I went and took a picture of our house, I got a picture of his dad, and I put all that on the wall on the Velcro. I'm not explaining this well, I realise that, but I really hope you get the gist. So a corkboard, Velcro, loads of different pictures on it, all stuck on. This is at his level so he can reach it, which is why I'm showing you. I'm sat down, which is why I'm showing you on this low wall. And then he can just go and get, so if he wants a banana, he can go and get the banana card and come and show me, and then I know he wants a banana. He's communicated that beautifully. Please don't put as much emphasis on speech, and don't beat yourself up if your child isn't developing the way that they should be, because milestones are a nightmare. Don't base your child off other people's children, because then you're never going to win. Do you know what I mean? What people put on social media isn't always real. And when people are putting pictures on of their beautifully speaking 1-year-old, fine, I'm very happy for them. But let's focus on the good things about your kid. All kids don't develop the same way, and that's fine. But please don't put as much emphasis on speech. Please think about the communication side of it as well, because that can really reduce frustration. And that was my main concern with Zach. He was getting so frustrated, he was hurting himself because he couldn't communicate. And then when we put these strategies in place, even though the speech still wasn't there, the communication was, and that helps his frustration 10-fold, 50-fold, all the folds. We still obviously have some issues, and we still have a way to go with speech to get caught up if we get caught up. It's fine if we don't, but we still have a way to go with speech. We've still got some stuff that we're working out, but I can say 100% he is happier for knowing how to communicate, and speech is just a byproduct of that. Communication is what is important. And again, I'm not like a professional at anything. I'm just very passionate about this subject, and if I can help that's amazing. If not, then I'm sorry that I wasted your time. But please let me know if you've got any questions about what I've said, because I realise that I'm not the most articulate when it comes to things like this. But these are just things that I've tried with my boy, and if I can help your kid, then that's amazing too. So yeah, if you know personally someone that's having sort of fights with themselves over how the child is communicating, or they're getting bogged down with the fact that the kid isn't speaking, please send them this, because I think there's some important information here that I think might help. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like content like this, because this is kind of the content that I'm going to be putting out every Sunday, and then on a Thursday a true crime and murder. So if you're into like speech therapy and autism and murder, then welcome. If not, then that's fair. Bye.